Oh, God. I'm making bodily noises. Oh, that sounds like a transition. Am I proud of that? No. Oh, it's the main event time, ain't it? We've been going for 40 minutes and I haven't even gotten to the fucking main event. Oh, God. I'm laughing because of how fucking annoying this is. I'm very disappointed. I'm very disappointed. And this will be my last word on the subject. Unless some big shit happens and forces me to talk about it again. But I don't want that to happen. That is not my intention to make it happen. So let's just put it all out there. Remember, the theme of this episode is maturity. And the prevailing message of separate the art from the artist. Very pertinent in this next story. Oh, God. Okay. I have been agonizing over this. Not because of much in the way of emotional investment in the surrounding accoutrement, but just because it's a shit show. It's an absolute shit show. So, what the fuck am I talking about? Let me say what I'm talking about instead of talking about it. I received a message, and these were private messages. I have screenshots of them, but I won't be showing them here publicly. I have them for my own personal record keeping, but I received a message. I won't be quoting them. It's a bit of an invasion of privacy. This was a private conversation. I'll be summarizing it for you. I received a message from... I'm battling myself internally because I don't want to do this wrong. There are people that I've talked to about this that think talking about it at all is a problem. Okay. I received a message, unsolicited, from a Twitter user named Kale_Tiger. And this is the first time to my knowledge that I have used that name on a recording. Because I have never talked about this person specifically, but I have talked about their work before. That is a very important difference, and one you should keep in mind going forward. I get this message from Kale Tiger. I don't know who this person is, so I don't expect much of it. Turns out this is the dev of Far Beyond the World. And they don't like what I did. I have done 2 episodes of Far Beyond the World. And 1 video addressing the comments on my Far Beyond the World videos. More so the second one, because the first one, most of the comments were saying that it either gets better or just saying that I should trust Vulgar. Because I got to that point and whatever. But I've played the game for a significant amount of time. Like an hour and a half, something like that. It's not like I've not mastered the fucking game, but that's a lot of investment to put into a game that I was waiting to get good. That's my personal opinion. I don't like the game, but that is me talking about the game, not the person who made it. So here we are. Not going to read it for point because it is a private message. They're summarized by saying they didn't like what I did. They found my reviews to be dishonest and biased, and they were ill-willed, and that they became the focal point for trolls. Now, this message came about around 3 o'clock. Let me get an actual timestamp here. Yeah, 3:34 p.m., on the 5th. The 5th. I'm recording this on the 6th. Now already, this is a problem because I don't go into these games to review them. I give my thoughts on them as I go, but I'm not a reviewer. I'm not trained in literary analysis. I just call it as I sees it from my trained, unprofessional point of view. That's the whole... I say that at the beginning of every video to qualify everything I say. Because I'm not a professional. I'm not on a New York Times fucking book review board. I am some random fuck in their second bedroom, talking to a microphone, reading a furry visual novel. I am no expert, but anyway. They said that many people have told me that I should move on from the game, but that I felt forced to play it. I didn't feel forced to play it initially. I felt like a lot of people wanted me to play it, because a lot of people said that I should fucking play it. Full transparency, before, I should say this going forward, the series is canceled. Via mutual agreement, the series will not be continuing. However, I was planning on giving it another shot, because I trust my audience when they say that it gets better. However, as I'll get to, that ain't happening. I have officially retired the series. I have removed the playlist, not the videos. The videos are still online, but I moved them to the one-offs playlist, which is weird because there's 2 of them, but whatever. I've done that before. So if you want to still watch them, that's where they are. But getting back to the message, I didn't feel forced to play it at any point. I felt like it was desired, and I felt like I didn't want to play it, but I was trusting my audience that they were right when they said it gets better. Guess we'll never know. Continuing on with the message. Oh yeah, the focal point for trolls. I want to make this clear. If anyone is using my name or my opinions or my videos or my views in order to troll people, go fuck yourselves. No, I don't want that. If you have a legitimate criticism for someone, and I'll get to the fact that I don't think there's really many people using my name as an attempt to troll. Hopefully not any. If you have a legitimate criticism, that's one thing. And if you just agree with my views and you echo them, that's fine. Just make sure you actually agree with them and not just agreeing with me because I said it. That would be really uncomfortable for me. Everyone should think for themselves. But legitimate criticism, that's totally fine. But don't fucking be trolling people or attacking them personally because you don't like a thing that they did. That's never okay. So if anyone's doing that, you can get the fuck away from me. But anyway, moving on. They do give me the benefit of the doubt, saying I probably wouldn't have intended that. And they say that it would probably be best if I never played it again. It's hard for me not to just quote this because they phrased it so specifically, but I don't want to do that because, again, this is a private message. They said that it would probably be best without rallying up haters to later attack him by trudging through his... No. I'm not rallying up any fucking haters. And people who criticize your shit isn't just a hater. But as I've said already, if you don't like something, and I didn't like it, if you use that as motivation to just attack someone as a person, criticizing work, not the same. Attacking the person, that's not okay. But I don't think my audience is doing that. And if anyone is, then they're not. Then I do not endorse that person. Saying my arguments are uninformed, and I didn't do any research. I don't. Okay, that is true because I do that as a rule. I don't research my shit. All right, because when I make the visual novel episodes specifically, where I'm reading the novel itself, not talking about it maybe in this. I do try to keep informed of what I'm talking about on here. But for the visual novels, I go into them blind because I don't want anything informing my opinion outside of it. And yeah, that leads to some quick judgments, uninformed opinions, stuff like that. But if it's important, it should be apparent. If it's not important or not apparent, if it's not apparent, and it is important, that's not my fault. But, my arguments are uninformed, didn't do any research about him or the VN and are simply stating personal biases in the crudest possible way. Yeah, I'm fucking crude. I swear a lot. Fuck, that's an opinion thing. He's allowed to believe that. It's not a problem, though. Why the fuck would I need to research the dev before playing their game? No one who played a Kirby game fucking needed to learn the biography of Masahiro Sakurai in order to enjoy it. The artist and the art are separate. Death of the author. Very important thing to keep in mind, because if you make art that is just about you, write a fucking autobiography. See how well that does. And also, any research about the VN, again, that's on purpose. Oh, my phone is fucking up. Here we go. Causing drama, which they don't have the mental capacity to deal with between the development and the personal life. See, that's where I'm trying to be careful here, because I'm not here to cause drama. I am addressing shit that was said about me privately and publicly. I'll get to that, because I got some screenshots shared to me by someone who asked to remain anonymous of a lot of people fucking saying some pretty heinous shit about me publicly. It was on a Discord server. So, I don't know. Would that be considered public? Because, yeah, there's like an invitation, but it's not like you screen everyone personally. I don't know. I'm not on that server, so I got screenshots of it, and I'll be sharing those a little bit later. Those are public, so I can quote that. And hell, I'm practically quoting this anyway, but not all of it. But this is why I'm trying to be careful, because they mentioned that they don't have the mental capacity to deal with the drama between stuff going on in their personal life and the stress of making a visual novel. Because whether you like the visual novel or not, it takes a lot of fucking work, all right? So that fucking deserves to be said, and that's why I'm not here trying to stir up shit. I'm responding. I didn't start this shit, all right? Anyway. So that's what was said to me. Again, 3:34 p.m. I say this because the screenshots I have about the stuff that was said publicly was before this private message. So I responded, at first condemning anyone that uses my stuff to attack anyone, because I don't want that. God damn, am I wordy. Yes. I said it right there. I believe strongly that the will of the artist matters most when creating art, no matter what the subject matter or audience reception may be. Yes. The intention of the artist matters when creating the art, but once that art is made, you're done. You're done, son. Once it's publicly available, you're done. Yeah, it's a separate thing. And I mentioned how popular the novel is. It's well received. Dozens of people have stuck up for it. To me personally, they have left me comments or left me messages saying that they believe it gets better and that they're disappointed that I don't like it, but that they understand. That's the nice thing to say. I don't agree, but it's okay with me. You do what you want to do with your life. That's fine. Yeah. I'm skimming myself at this point. And I try to say specifically that it's not personal. Because again, I don't know them personally, so it can't be personal. So that's the gist of what I said. Then they responded that apparently I'd called them a racist and a creep and cringy, and a cringy, unimaginative bad writer and a plagiarizer. Apparently, I called them that, specifically. Again, I said before, this is the first recording I've ever done that mentioned the name Kale Tiger. Because I don't talk about devs when I review or play their games. I don't even review, I just fucking play the game. I don't talk about the person. I learned that lesson before with the translator of Lagoon Lounge. So, let's address those individual moments. The racism thing. And I asked later on, he confirmed that this is the moment I'm talking about. Let me check one thing real quick. because I'm going to be making a point later on about pronouns, and I want to make sure that I'm not doing the exact thing here. Okay, so now, yeah. My fucking profile on Twitter has they, them. But in the screenshot you'll see later, I'm repeatedly referred to as a guy and he. So who's not doing the fucking research? But anyway, the racism moment. That is referring to the moment, I believe it's around 11 and a half minutes into episode 2, where Rannoch makes a comment about what little they know about humans. They say they got a little bit of fur on top of their head and that they have pinkish skin. And not having played this game before, and having played many games that unintentionally made problematic statements, I made mention of how that could be potentially problematic. See, the thing is, what fucking game was that called? I don't remember the name of the game, but basically they turned mental illness into like a demonic curse, and they didn't intend to do that, but that was a very problematic thing to do. And so when I mentioned that in the novel, their response was, "Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. I'm going to rework that. Thank you for pointing that out." That was the correct way to do it. The incorrect way to do it is to fucking take that shit personally. Because it wasn't intended personally. It was obviously not intended personally. And it was a choice to be taking that personally, barring the inclusion of any sort of mental vulnerability, as I disclaimed before. So, the racism moment. I was like, what the fuck? Minority erasure much? I'm uncomfortable. Because I was fucking uncomfortable with it. It was an uncomfortable moment, and I said that before, like immediately after the main character's like, there can be multiple skin pigments, what the fuck? And then Rennick's like, shrug, I guess we have a lot to learn then. And that's a summary, not quoting it word for word. You can play the fucking game yourself. You can read the fucking words from the video yourself. But the point is, that was uncomfortable and did not need to be there. And if that second half of that moment had not been there, which I, not knowing the person who made it, not knowing the game itself, I had no reason to assume that they would just skim past it or not. So I gave my honest, immediate response, which was to say that was uncomfortable, and I made a joke about them. It wasn't really even a joke, because if they had stuck with that, and they had just said that they have pink skin, then that would have been a minority erasure moment, which would be very bad. And that's why I even later joked, unintentionally racist wolf. Like, it was unintentional. That's the point. He didn't know that what he said was racist. The character, not the dev. Because I didn't say anything about the dev. Calling him a creep. I don't remember what moment specifically that was, but I can easily dispute that by saying I never fucking mentioned anything about the dev himself. There's a difference between addressing someone's work and the person. And I feel like I'm saying that over and over again at this point because it's what the fuck this whole thing is about. And later, when trying to make that fucking difference known, I get whisked away as arguing semantics. It's a very important fucking difference, and one that would be crucial to not taking this shit personally if they were interested in learning that lesson. So moving on. Cringy, unimaginative, bad writer. Yeah, I thought the stuff written was cringy, unimaginative, and bad writing. Everyone has to start somewhere. I don't know if this is their first visual novel. I don't know if it's their 100th visual novel. And I also know that seeing writing as cringy, unimaginative, and bad are all subjective fucking points. I think this about the writing. Maybe they can write something else that I would like, but it doesn't matter because there are others that do like it, because it's a subjective thing. But I didn't say that about the person, just about the writing. And a plagiarizer. I said in my review video on all the above, where I was reading the comments, that I don't see the comparison yet between Ad Astra and Far Beyond the World. A lot of other people have. A lot of people apparently have been saying all kinds of shit to the point where even the Echo Project had to make a statement where they're like, we don't own the genre of fucking history, sci-fi, space shit. All right? Like, be nice to people. And I don't know if they said that unsolicited or not. Make that conclusion yourselves. But, yeah, I more akined it to Major Minor, and that was even a loose comparison itself. I never got to a part where I would think that it was similar to Ad Astra. I did not make that comparison, but no, I apparently called him a plagiarist. No, I did not. But he said that wasn't his description of goodwill. I never mentioned goodwill. Oh, and then they said they were disappointed because they heard a lot of good things about me, and they were excited when someone linked to him the video, and then they were disappointed when I simply ventured into 30 minutes, a 30-minute long smear campaign. Smear campaign! I do not care that much about the game to smear it. I gave my thoughts. If you can't take someone not liking something without discrediting it as trolling or hating or a smear campaign, that ain't my problem. Surprising that I did another video, crueler and harsher than the first one. Cruel and harsh? Yeah, I basically said that I thought the game was not written well. I didn't like the writing. I didn't like the tropes. I thought it was cliche. Is this cruel and harsh? Does that sound cruel and harsh? Maybe to them. Well, definitely to them, because they fucking said it. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say it's harsh and cruel. I guess that's a matter of subjectivity. And then another one where I was dissecting the comments. Yeah, I respond to comments. I do that a lot. Not so much as I used to do with the Talking Back series, but I like engaging with my audience, and I told them where I agreed and disagreed, but I also did not at any point say that they were stupid or anything about them personally. I just believe in talking to people like people. They're confused what my goal is, and that if I didn't mean to cause trouble and I didn't enjoy it, then maybe I should leave it be. Yeah, I didn't mean to cause trouble, because me having an opinion shouldn't cause trouble. You know, it might have been a spark, but you had to add fuel to that shit to make a fire. And maybe I should leave it be. I'm definitely doing that now, but later on, we come to the agreement that I should. Here's my response, because that was the end of that. I tried to make the point. I didn't talk about him at all, because I don't know him. I've talked to him once, and it was very unpleasant, but I wouldn't say that's me knowing a person. Here we go. It's basically all I'm trying to say in my response, and that I'm not going to be doing any more episodes because it makes him uncomfortable, it makes me uncomfortable, and whether or not I was willing to believe that it gets better because of my audience recommendation, which I was. If this is how it's going to be received by the dev, then I don't want any part of that. Yeah, and saying that I separate art from artist. And that's when he responds with that he's not going to quibble over semantics. It's not semantics. It's a level of maturity. If you can separate criticism of your work from criticism of you, that's maturity. Calling my writing racist is calling me a racist. Direct quote from the message. Breaking my own rules. No, it's fucking not. It's just not. That's just not even close to true. Does that mean that every actor who's ever acted in a civil rights era movie Are all the white actors who played the terrible real life equivalents of people who were trying to hold down the people from getting equal rights? Those actors are apparently racist too, because they fucking acted like one, or they were the writers. The writers wrote those lines. That means the writers of that movie are racist, even though they're writing a movie about the civil rights movement. That's just ridiculous. They think they said what needs to be said. Find more success with VNs that strike my fancy instead of pandering to the crowd of haters. So now, apparently, my audience is a crowd of haters. Or at least the people who agree with me are all haters. The crowd of haters. Pandering to the crowd of haters. Really? How fucking pretentious. Okay, yeah, gotta be nice. I mean, this is what I mean by potentially going off the rails, because this shit is infuriating. And then he ends it with my best wishes to you in your future ventures. Like I'm being fired from a fucking insurance firm. Like, what the fuck? And that's when I clarified about the moment with the racism comment. What I've already explained to you. He then quotes it back to me, what I said, as if I didn't fucking know, and then said, you throw a lot of stone on video. I find it really weird to try to backpedal hard against your own record. I didn't backpedal a fucking thing, man. I know what I said, and I said what I meant at the time. But time exists, and perspective exists. And perspective, if you're paying attention and you're willing to admit you were wrong, changes over time. And when it got addressed that it was just a matter of Rannick not knowing a lot about humanity, and it gets said that minorities, other ethnicities other than fucking white people exist, then it's not minority erasure. But it was still a fucking uncomfortable moment. And in that immediate moment, what I said is what I meant. And I stand by that. I didn't fucking backpedal at all. And I say that in my response, to which he responds either way, find this conversation reaching its natural conclusion, and he doesn't want this to be drawn out. Natural conclusion, this conversation was like 30 minutes. And every time I tried to say something, it was a fucking brick wall. I would say, oh, here's the explanation. No, it's not. I'm not quibbling over semantics, quoting back to me, you're just backpedaling. Like, man, if you didn't want a conversation, then you do the thing where you say your piece and you block me. At least in that instance, I don't have the belief that I have a fighting chance of explaining myself. But, you know, even that's not the best move. But, like, if you're going to tell me to fuck off, tell me to fuck off. If you're not interested in actually hearing me out, don't try to talk to me. Didn't even have to message me. Again, he messaged me first. I didn't talk to him. I didn't talk about him. But nah, anyway. Yeah. He said he was glad I was retiring the series, and that I'm sure both of us will breathe freely, knowing there's no needless drama brewing. Yeah, I wouldn't... This is probably going to be seen as drama, or me stirring the pot, or going against my word. I'm not making another episode of Far Beyond the World. I am going to respond and explain why it happened, because my audience deserves to know what the fuck happened and why I'm not continuing the series. I never said I wouldn't talk about it. Especially considering the stuff that was said afterward. Or before the messages, actually. I didn't find out about it until after this conversation happened. And my last message was saying that I was disappointed at how it happened. I hope that eventually he'll be willing to hear me out and that we'll be able to actually come to the same page. And that I hope he knows that I never intended anything personally to him, because I didn't. Nothing I said during the Far Beyond the World episodes had anything to do with him. And that I disagree with his assessment of who I am and how I act, because he was the one that initiated talking about the person. I never talked about the person. And then his response was just like a thank you. So, moving further down, I get a message. When did the message come? Do I have a time code? Oh, I'm drowning. I'm drowning in moments. Okay, here we go. Yeah, that happened at like 9:30. 9:30 p.m. So 6 fucking hours after the initial thing, I get a message from a person who, again, asked to be made anonymous. So that's how I'm saying, how I'm staying. But yeah, I told them I was going to address it, so I can feel more comfortable about doing the thing I was already doing, which is practically quoting everything. Oy vey, I'm such a hypocrite. This is them talking to me about the Far Beyond the World situation. And they believe that I should not play it anymore. Because, and they say the only reason I'm saying so here and not on YouTube is because the community and the creator hate you. That might be overstating it a little, but at least I hope so. And I hate to start up nonsense by making it public. Please do not give them your time of day, nor your support, because while you seem like you're willing to give things a second chance, they aren't willing to give you a second chance. I have been dumped by a community I was never fucking in. Yeah, and then they say, please don't mention me, because they're worried about getting backlash. And I'm like, wow, this really backlash. Like, how fucking harsh is this? So they sent the screen caps out of order. So let me find the first one here. All right, here we go. Yeah. First one. And this is all on the Discord server. I don't know what server this is, but this happened in a chat called Far Beyond the World chat. And I can actually say who they're from too, because none of this shit is private. Yay! Not the person, the person who has to be anonymous. I won't say who they are. Person named Leo. It's already off on a bad start because I don't like Leo. I'm kidding. They link to the video. They say, thought he was better than that. So first instance of he. Literally, I got called out for not researching my shit. In my public Twitter bio, it says they, them. I'm not really that upset about that, but it's just a little funny to me. My name's literally Vivian. Like, I know I look like a fat guy with a beard, but like, if you're worried about accuracy, there's another thing later on. But yeah, thought he was better than that. He read absolutely nothing in the VN. That's fucking normal if he doesn't like it right away. I read a lot of the visual novel, actually. Well, I shouldn't say that. It was only like maybe an hour and a half. I don't know the cumulative time of the videos. But yeah, I spent a good amount of time addressing my thoughts on it because that's what fucking commentary is. All right? They get a response from someone named Cup. It says, it's just absurd, LMAO. And while it isn't an awful take to say, quote, writers sometimes derive character traits from themselves and the people around them to create well-rounded characters, end quote, saying the main characters of works are literally always self-inserts is complete bullcrap. I've never had that belief. I've even talked on other the interview episodes about that kind of thing. There are some main characters of visual novels that are basically self-inserts. Like, in EA, there's a bit of a story for the main character, but it's mainly decided by your choices what kind of person the main character is. In a game like Amorous, I hate that fucking game, but in Amorous, it's entirely a self-insert. There's no personality or fucking anything outside of what you decide. But in a game like Echo, there is that is an entirely based character. That is a full Chase is a full fucking character. So yeah, no, the main character isn't always a self-insert. It happens a lot, but it isn't a universal truth. I also don't believe in universal truths. So that person doesn't know what they're talking about. We get a big from Grant Saitaki. Sorry. Here's what the fuck? I have no idea what this next person... Yeah. What? I'll just read it. From Sabay465, with all the pain I have received from others, I consider experiencing happiness to be a drug for me that I have to constantly resist the urge to go after, as people will just hurt me again. They go on to say, if I get close, if someone wants to hurt me now, I hope you are prepared for me to put a knife against my neck as a threat, as this is what your type does to people. What the fuck? I have no fucking clue what that has to do. I don't even know if that's in response to me. That just might be someone going off. Another message from Grant said, Deckerlink, what the heck, dude? I'm gonna have to unsub. I lost interest in that dude anyways. Can't blame you for that. I lost interest in me a long time ago. Oh, here's another one from Leo. If you like a VN 10 minutes after you start playing it, it means you are just biased and only read what you would like to read. Reading isn't always fun or easy, and sometimes hard and difficult. If you can't fucking read, I don't know what that last part means, but no, if you like a fucking VN 10 minutes after you started reading it, it means it has a good 10 minutes. It has a good first 10 minutes, or at least a good first 10 minutes according to what you like. Doesn't mean you're fucking biased. The fuck? And they got 3 thumbs up. 3 people agree with that. That makes no fucking sense. Have you never read a book where the first page is like immediately sucks you in? If not, I think you need to read more fucking books. Next screenshot. Let me make sure I'm doing these in order here. Yeah, because these are all taking place. The first one was at 12:50 p.m. So this all takes place like pretty soon after that clip comes up. By the way, like those videos were uploaded every 15 minutes after 12. Like noon that day, so they were fucking quick. That's a quick community right there. Yeah, here we go. Continuing on, Grant continues. Basically, it sounds like that dude is just making excuses because he's biased or something. Gotta discredit me because I don't agree with you. That makes sense. Because never has fan service been a problem before with him from the videos I've watched. Man... I am notoriously uncomfortable with gratuitous, unnecessary nudity. Just because for the record, just because it's nudity doesn't mean I'm uncomfortable with it. But if it's just out of nowhere, like the early parts of Repeat, that shit is unnecessary, and I'll call it out as such. Fan service I don't really have a problem with, as long as it serves a purpose. But, that's not what Far Beyond the World did. They just immediately launched into wanting to fuck each other. And that's just not compelling to me. Can't imagine why. Leo responds, yeah, and in the comments they ask for him to continue because he hasn't played long enough. I don't know about that. It's a lot of fucking time I spent. The conversations were pretty long, but yeah, I didn't get too far into the game. Because the parts I read I didn't like. Okay? Grant responds, because even the comments know he hasn't played that long. Yeah, okay. Didn't play it for long. I still played it a good amount. The amount I played, if you read a book for even one word, if that word is like your least favorite word, then you don't have to keep reading it. But I read the equivalent of a good few pages. And if I was looking at a book in the library and I decided to look at the first few pages and I decided that I didn't want to read it from that's my prerogative. The book could be fucking amazing, but the first few pages, they don't suck me in. I don't have to fucking play it. And if I'm commentating to someone else and telling them what I thought about those first 2 pages, and if I didn't like them, I'm going to tell them I didn't fucking like them. I didn't say the whole game was shit. I just said what I read I didn't like. But whatever. Leo responds, and the 2 videos he did about Far Beyond the World were 2 months apart. This is just a bad thing to do. Bad thing. How dare I have other shit I want to do with my life than playing a game that I don't like? God damn. Grant responds, LOL, and he has the audacity to say, quote, it has parts that should be rewritten or redone, end quote. Of course you're not going to like it when he made a major decision out of the trust vulgar or don't decision. It wasn't a major decision. It was just where the episode ended. It wasn't a major decision, and also, if it's a choice in a visual novel about making multiple choices and branching paths, then it fucking matters. But no, apparently I made that the fucking end-all be-all, and I had the audacity to say it needed to be rewritten. Yeah, because I thought the writing there was poor, so yeah, it should be redone. But that's my opinion. But no, that's audacious. Now we get Kale jumping in. Again, this is at 1:11 p.m. So this is a full 2.5 hours before he says anything to me. Gets on this Discord, says, yeah, people who never did anything creative in their life often do feel very much entitled to give other creators tips and tricks. I would take this from an actual writer, not a YouTube shit stirrer. Oh, man. They really want me to seem like the scum of the fucking earth just because I don't like something that they like. Apparently, years of video production is not creative. Apparently also, just because I've never put it out online means I've never written anything before. Also, apparently, my entire fucking life, I've never done anything creative. And also, just because I don't do the thing he does means I can't say anything or have any insight on it at all. Not, the fact that I've been reading a fuck ton of these visual novels in this genre, in this type, in this publication style for years at this point. But no, apparently my insight doesn't matter because I've never fucking learned how to use RenP. That makes fucking sense. And apparently all I do on YouTube is stir up shit. I don't know if you've noticed, I'm not exactly Keemstar over here. I don't get into drama. I don't call people out. I don't fucking whatever. Like, this is so unlike anything I've done before. But no, I'm a YouTube shit stirrer because if you discredit the person, you don't have to listen to their opinion. Fucking hell. And I believe in the next screenshot, yeah, there we go. Grant responds, yeah, no, exactly. As well as the fact that this dude takes forever to post parts for VNs. Like he has multiple at one time, instead of properly playing them one after the other, or something else that is much more organized. Okay, so according to them, their way of organizing things is the proper way. That is the right way to do it, because they decided that's the proper way. God forbid anyone else want to do anything differently. If you start watching a TV show, you're not allowed to watch any other TV show. Ever. If you watch one movie, whether you like it or not, you can't watch any other movies. You have to finish that one, because Grant will fucking shit on you for doing it improperly. And yeah, it take a long time to get shit out, because I don't want to play everything all at once every fucking day. I'm also disabled, which means I can't record all the fucking time. I often live my life limited by what I'm able to do, as opposed to what I want to do. But they don't give a shit about that because it just takes too long for me to put out videos. Like, bro, Uki Cookie streams almost like all the fucking time. And he doesn't mind fan service. His whole fucking shtick is surrounding by playing into that and the custom intros and all that. Go watch him if you fucking care so much about your goddamn upload schedule. Kale responds. Also, person who ostensibly, bleaches... Oh... They say bleaches, but they meant belches into the mic and is proud of their bodily sounds is the last person on the planet that has a right to tell anyone that something's cringy. It's so disrespectful, and I always end talking to people who just let one rip in company. To me, it's the lowest of the low. How fucking privileged are you to say that if you belch, that is the worst person in the world. The last person on the planet. God forbid that you come across someone who is, we mentioned it before, insanely racist, or a murderer, or a pedophile. But no, apparently because I belch in videos sometimes, that makes me the lowest of the low. The last person who has the right to say anything is cringy. Have you met people before? There's a lot of people who do things a lot worse than belching. And for the record, I have a stomach disease. I'm still working through the shit-ass U.S. healthcare system to get it diagnosed. At one point, they thought it might be cancer. All right? And it still hasn't been definitively ruled out as such. I have to take medication upon medication. I take like 12 pills a day for various problems, including this problem that causes me to belch sometimes. Oh, fucking no. And I let one rip every once in a while. Like, that's the biggest inconvenience in the fucking world. Has anyone even frowned at you before? Fuck. That's a John Chon quote. I don't want to fucking go out on that. But no, I belch sometimes in my videos. I try my best to edit them out sometimes. Sometimes I don't, because I miss them or because I don't fucking feel the need to. And yeah, it's not polite. It's not proper. But I have a fucking disease, and I'm sorry that that doesn't make for good fucking content, but I don't give a shit if you don't fucking like it. Move the fuck on. But no, that defines me as a person, apparently. Lets one rip in company. The lowest of the low. Have you been to the South? No, according to their bio, they're from... Oh, nope, my Twitter refreshed. They're from Walsall, England. So I don't know if they've ever even visited America, but the reference there is that there's a lot of fucking overtly racist people in the South. That was a joke, because not all people in the South are racist, which is not what I fucking said, but I have a tendency to be taken in a wildly different way than what I intended, so I clarified it unnecessarily just to make it clear. Lowest of the low because I belch. Your perspective is fucked. Anyway... Lido, I don't believe we've seen a Lido before in this conversation, so a new person popping in, said, I tried watching this guy's Ad Astra playthrough. Hard enough to spell it right? That's the movie, not the novel. Could only get through one video because his disgusting belches was just ... no. Disgusting belches. Man. The game was fucking free. And that the whole, like, to tie it back into the first thing, just fucking play it yourself if you don't want to deal with other people having anything going on in their life. And remember, I got criticized for not doing any research about the person behind the art. I got criticized for not doing any research on the artist. But no, they're fine to criticize me for having a fucking disease, and I doubt they would if they knew that I possibly have cancer, but no. I'm the problem because I didn't look into them while reading their visual novel. I'm the problem. Meanwhile, they're misgendering me. They're making fun of me and calling me the lowest of the low because I have a fucking stomach disorder that I'm still struggling to live through and constantly cause me extreme levels of pain and discomfort. But no, because it occasionally results in a fucking belch every once in a while, I'm the lowest of the low and the last person on earth below the pedophiles and the fucking murderers and the fucking Republicans below all of them. I'm the problem because I don't like your fucking visual novel and I said something you don't fucking agree with. I'm the problem. Your perspective is fucked. Response to that, Infinity, another new person, says, by the way, stop giving him views, you guys. It's not helping XD. I have like 3 dislikes on that Far Beyond the World video for all of the above. I don't think that you're really giving me much ad revenue. You fucking echo chamber of a few people that like to figuratively blow each other because you just want to appease someone that you think does a cool thing. Oh, one last thing. From Ven. We haven't seen them before. I always feel mortified if I burp when speaking to people. Mortified. Mortified. Have you ever done anything in public that just made you want to die? Have you ever accidentally waved at a blind person? Have you ever accidentally said I love you after ending a phone call to a stranger? Apparently burping is right up there. A natural thing that all humans do. Apparently that's right up there. And that's the end of the screenshots for the Discord server. The anonymous source says that they are sorry for out of nowhere bringing this up to me, but says, quite frankly, the fan base for Far Beyond the World is best described as a cult, so it would likely do you best not to not entertain them. Well, I'm sure when this comes out, they're going to fucking love the fact that I promoted their channel, their server, and they're just going to shower me with praise, and they're going to be so fucking happy. And oh, by the way, I didn't even need to do that one. I forced myself to burp, and I'm not fucking editing it out. Because fuck you. I never thought that belching would be a fucking act of rebellion. Okay, my phone keeps fucking refreshing, so here we go. So, I am basically responding that I'm fucking speechless, because this shit is coming out of nowhere. Again, didn't ask for any of it. I just made some videos about a fucking game. I don't care about the people behind it. I don't care about the people who blindly support the person. I didn't care about any of that, but I get this message. And I don't blame the anonymous person for saying this. I appreciate them letting me know just how fucked this whole situation is. Because they have a few examples of things apart from me. Apparently, according to this screenshot, got proof of this one, Kale is a fan of manipulating the ratings of their game. And when checking, the rating system seemed to be off the page for Far Beyond the World. And that there mysteriously was a lot of comments that were just not there if they were negative. For someone who's receiving a fucking typhoon of hate, apparently, people going after them personally and attacking them, seems to be an awful lack of stuff. But according to this screenshot, it's kind of small. Let me tilt my phone. The quote from Kale, at everyone in the server. And there's a fuck ton of reactions to this. So you can't say that that burp was intentional. Well, not intentional. I had to do that one. There is a lot of people who really support this game. And I can't write them all off as being blind supporters. There was only like a handful of people in those screenshots that we saw. So I don't know. Of course, a lot of these are different reactions. So there could just be a few people doing this. I don't know. But it cannot be said that this game is not popular. So fair play to them. You made something that's popular. You lost one member of an audience and you freak out. But anyway, the quote, "Hey guys, I didn't want to resort to this." Resort to this. Such a drastic move. But I guess I have no other choice. There is a group of people out there that is engaging in strategic downrating of Far Beyond the World to knock it down from its place in the Itch.io ranking. Who the fuck cares? First of all, who the fuck cares about anything I'm saying? For the record. Because I'm nobody. So why the hell anyone cares about what I think about this? But anyway, who the fuck cares about Itch.io rankings other than people on Itch.io? Like, this isn't the GameStop stock. You're not going to rally the whole internet behind it. Apparently that happened. I don't know when the screenshot was taken. It just says today. I don't know. So who knows when the fuck this came out. It might just be an old screenshot. Normally, I wouldn't mind, but because bad reviews happen. However, I've received more of those in the last 2 weeks than I did in the last 6 months. Wow, it sounds like a lot of people are finding out about your game and are giving views that may or may not be their own, but you're writing them all off as bad. And a lot points to those ratings not being genuine. Like what? You have any examples? You have any proof? You have anything that would give you that opinion other than them being bad? Do you have a fucking smoking gun? Do you have anyone saying that they're trying to do this to you? Nothing said here. So the only thing I can do is appeal to our community and ask those who haven't yet rated Far Beyond the World to do so if possible. So you want to artificially inflate the reviews because you're getting a lot of bad ones. Yeah. Every 5-star rating you give helps us to keep Far Beyond the World where it currently is and mitigates the damage caused by those who simply try to troll me out of existence. Thanks a lot for your help. Heart emoji. Troll you out of existence. How fucking dramatic. It's a goddamn rating system. There are so many people, according just to those reactions under your post, that love your game. But a few fucking people who may or may not be organized trying to lower your fucking ranking, that's the people you care about. You're worried about being trolled out of existence despite having a fucking legion of people willing to react to this fucking post. Proof that you have a wide fucking audience. You're not going anywhere. The people who love your game will still love your game. Unless they find out what kind of person you seem to be by your actions. Again, you can't define the person by the actions, but you can look at the actions to say whether or not you'd want to support those actions. I don't. So, yikes. Here we go. Scrolling back up. And the anonymous person said that he said he got some negative ratings, which would be whatever. However, he just sees them as unjust. And you don't manipulate your audience to get ratings like that. You go to itch staff. That is true. If you feel like your ratings are being mishandled, go to the fucking website and be like, hey, I'm getting fucked with. Can you do something about that? But no, whatever. The anonymous person says technically what he does with that post is wrong, especially since with the amount of ratings he was at even on the day of that post, which was the 25th of January. So there you go. That's the answer for that. 5 or so bad ratings doesn't make your game go down. It's also a weird fucking thing to care about, especially since more people are going to know about your game from videos that you seem to be reacting to as if they were just from YouTube shit stirrers. Instead of itch.io rankings. More people care, more people on YouTube, more people are going to see your fucking game from that than your goddamn itch.io ranking. Oh yeah, the anonymous person goes on to say that they're sorry for hopping this onto me, but more or less, Kale is someone that will discredit you entirely when you try to criticize his work, or Adastra, for that matter. Ooh, damn. So very, very interesting that he would go to bat to defend a game that he's constantly compared to, which, again, I don't see the comparison myself. Maybe I just didn't play long enough into the game to fucking see the points of comparison, but, you know, the comparison's been made by other people. But, yeah. Oof. Crazy, crazy. Yeah, I'm skipping over stuff that might implicate who. What? Oh. Yeah, they're basically telling me to not fucking do it, and it's. Oh man. What? Okay. Yeah, it's showing some examples. This one is more of a personal thing. Sorry about the silence there. They're basically just fucking going absolutely dick over nuts about fucking discrediting people just because they don't agree with it. Because it's easy to write off someone's opinion if you can't attack it personally, if you can't dissect the opinion personally itself, you have to attack the person, apparently, which is fucking exactly what I'm being blamed for doing, which I didn't fucking do. Said that the anonymous person said that Kale is an unpleasant person, literally bans people for criticizing his game. And, oh, here's one that apparently they tried to get someone banned from a Discord server because they were claiming that that person was linking to Patreon exclusive content, but had no proof of this. And I got a screenshot of the conversation. I don't know how I have this, because the anonymous person is not either person in this conversation. And McSkinny is like, what the fuck? Do you have any proof of this? Because that's a hell of a claim. But there was no proof. And that it was odd, and everyone was denying it. So, very odd there. Oh, what the hell? Oh, yeah, this is the... They sent me a screenshot that was so small. Oh, it was someone who made a comment on, for Anonymous. What the fuck is the website called? 18 for you or whatever. You18 Sean. I'm not really connected into the community and the online presence. I don't. They comment on U18 Sean by that person, and Kale apparently tried to get them banned for that. And the comment itself, let's see if it's heinous and doxing them and going crazy about them as a person. The comment that sparked that particular controversy from an anonymous, or it says for anonymous, I don't know. The quote is, "I feel like a lot of people are downplaying the similarities to Adastra. Kale claims he came up with the story in 2016, and it was originally tigers, but changed it to wolves when Nekujishi happened. But let's look at the similarities. MC is a human trapped in a furry world, in a wolf society. The struggling wolf society is isolationist, xenophobic, and homophobic. The love interest is a kind wolf who doesn't think things through. He has broken a huge rule by bringing the MC here despite seemingly being led by a higher power to do so." Almost did the Undertaker higher power thing. Christ. MC has to play dumb, and the love interest promises to take him home. Love interest is the heir to being the leader and is more progressive than the other wolves. And he wants to make an alliance with the species the wolves started a war with, despite not liking how they operate. And the MC hears voices in his head that predict the future. Excuse me. Try to demoralize him and exacerbate his negative emotions. The character setup as the initial antagonist is a scrawny white wolf. But like Cassius, I doubt Tano is the big bad. I don't even know who that is. We didn't get to that part. There's also the poses? Oh, poses of several of Rannick's sprites and the belly rub CG. There are differences, sure, but the similarities are extremely specific, and there's a lot of them. And that post was made on the 28th of January. From that description, yeah, it sounds really fucking similar, don't it? I imagine that, I can't come to a conclusion on that by itself because anyone can make a list of similarities and without any counterpoints, it's like, well, wow, that sounds the same. I haven't played enough into it, and I won't be doing that, so I can't make that call itself, but that is apparently the comment that fucking drew Kale to trying to make some sort of accusation. There's also a claim here that does not have a screenshot accompaniment, so I can't vouch for the legitimacy of that. But the claim is that Kale apparently let an artist get bullied for drawing fan art that depicted sexual acts between Rennick and Vulgar because, quote, it wasn't canon or some nonsense. So that's some shitty behavior. So in all, going for almost 2 hours now, what's my conclusion? Well, yeah, I'm not playing the fucking game. Don't feel forced to. Don't feel forced not to. I chose not to because if me giving my honest opinion can result in this much bullshit, then it's not fucking worth it, especially if I don't like the game. As far as all the stuff that was said about me on that Discord server, I think I've already made my point clear as to the absolute lack of perspective and lack of legitimacy to those particular viewpoints. But hey, you can view me however you fucking want. I don't care. If you're not feeding me or fucking me or paying for my shit, I don't care what you think. The point is, before today, I never said a fucking thing about the dev, Kale. I never made any personal claims about him. I didn't make any judgment calls about the person involved. And I do give credit to the fact that the game is very popular. I like the art. It's not my favorite art in any visual novel, but I do like it. And when it comes down to it, none of this needed to happen. Because all I did was say that I didn't like a thing. To which I received multiple unsolicited messages attacking me as a person and letting me know that even further attacks are made about who I am as a person before. Now, you could say that the criticisms about my upload schedule and the belching, in the videos, that is criticizing my work and not me. And that'd be a fair thing to say. Saying that makes me the lowest of the low and the last person who can say what's cringy and that I personally never made anything creative, that's attacking me personally. Calling me a YouTube shit stirrer is attacking me personally. And messaging me and saying that I did a whole lot of things that were really not okay to have done if I had done them. And then refusing to even let me explain myself or even trying to listen to what I had to say, that was disrespectful to me as a person. So when it comes down to it, I have no intention of ever coming back to this topic, to this game, or talking to these people. And if anyone is disappointed by the fact that I said these things about this game or about this person or about the people involved, feel free to leave, because I don't want you here. This channel has been and will continue to be what I feel like fucking doing when I feel like fucking doing it, and done how I feel like fucking doing it. If it's a game that I feel like playing by itself for months on end, that's what I'll fucking do. If I don't feel like playing a mainstay for months on end, that's what I'll fucking do. And yes, I will try my best to do things in a way that will satisfy the audience that I desperately care for. And the people who have supported me through thick and thin for long or short periods of time, those are the people I care about in terms of, will I do this for them or not? But at the end of the day, and what those people want me to do is to take care of myself first. As was shown by the comments on those videos, that sparked this whole thing. People saying that if I don't want to use Facecam, they understand and I can move on. People who said that while they like the game, Far Beyond the World, they enjoy it, they know it gets better, they understand that I don't, and they support my decision to not play it anymore, because that is what is the mature thing to do. Remember, that's the theme, maturity. If you don't agree with someone, if you see their viewpoint as being invalid or inferior to your own, or in any way just in conflict with the reality that you have in your head, it is okay to respond and say, I disagree. You have the right to have your opinion. I disagree with what it is, but I'm not going to try to force you into something else, into thinking something else. I'm not going to attack you as a person and shame your credibility or try to say that you're saying or doing things that you're not doing just so that I can discredit something that you said that I don't agree with, because that is the immature thing to do. That is the wrong thing to do. That is what my problem is with what was happened to me, what was done to me, what happened to me. What was happened to me is a fucking hell. The point is, none of this needed to happen. And none of it will happen again, because unless something really big or stupid fucking happens past this point, I will not feel the need to respond. Because it's not fucking worth it. It's been made very clear that the topic of this conversation has no interest in hearing what I have to say or complexly considering why I did anything that I did. They've made their decision about what I did regardless of my intent, regardless of the truth of the matter, and regardless of any perspective that would calibrate the reality that they're basing their views of me upon. And that's why I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to the people who don't know about this yet. The people who maybe enjoy the game, but don't know anything about the person, because no one fucking... I want to say no one. The majority of people who play or enjoy the game don't give a shit about your itch.io ranking or about your personal beliefs or about the person behind it. If they really like it and they want to show their support to the person, they might seek you out. But as a base form of consumption of art, the separation between art and artist is essential and is the standard. It is what normally happens. If you pick up a random book in a library, you don't pick it from the author. You pick it from maybe the cover art, the title, or if you pick purely randomly, then you're definitely not picking because of the artist, or the author, or the whatever the fuck. It's the content that decides whether you like it or not. And for me, I didn't like it. And I said as such because that's what the fuck I do here. I don't stir shit. I don't start drama. I don't cause trouble. I don't pander to haters. I don't send people to troll. I despise the fact that some people make an entire living based off of that alone because it just results in net negative for other people. I say what I think about content. About people individually. If I don't know you personally, I can't speak to you personally. But actions, I can speak to. Actions, I will describe and give my opinions on those actions because that is all that I can go off here. The actions of accusing me of saying and doing things I didn't fucking do, I will respond to. The actions of disregarding my medical condition in order to try to say that I am the lowest of the low, that I can respond to. And that is the kind of actions that make me not give a shit about the person behind it. Because at the end of the day, I spent so much fucking time agonizing over whether I should even say anything. I spent so much time thinking, should I even respond? Because this person might have something going on with them. I have mental limitations and vulnerabilities that make public fucking interaction a very difficult thing sometimes. And it results in me doing things that may or may not be the best course of action. So maybe that's what's going on. Maybe that's what's happening and that's what's leading to this whatever happened then. But it seems that this is a series of actions. And it's not my fucking job to qualify it or to act as though it's forgivable just because of a supposed possible reasoning. If there is a reason why you act the way you do, it is not incumbent upon those whom you act upon to understand it. No one owes you that. No one owes you a positive review on your fucking game. No one owes you researching you or your fucking build history or your... No one owes you that. If someone literally saw the first page or the first screen available of Far Beyond the World and they decided it was absolute garbage and fuck this game and I'm never playing it, that's their fucking right. And you might not agree with that. You might see that as extremely unfair to you and all the work you've done, and that would be fair because that's subjective. But what you can't do is just describe them as a person as a piece of shit. Because at the end of the day, they didn't do a fucking thing to you. They didn't do anything to you. They didn't say anything about you. They didn't do anything to warrant discrediting them or smearing them or trying to make them seem like less of a fucking person. People can enjoy what they want. And clearly a lot of people enjoy this game. And a lot of people agree with Kale and what he has to say and what he's done. I also have that. I have people who agree with me, and I have a lot of people who I care about deeply who didn't believe I should say anything at all. And maybe I shouldn't have. I don't know. As of right now, in this isolated moment where I'm recording this, the consequences of my actions are impossible to predict. I thought that the Toby Turner video was going to result in more of a controversy than anything else I posted on the all of the above clips. Turns out, no one gave a fuck. That's the general theme. Why the fuck do I care? Why do I care what some random fuck has to say about what I did or didn't say and do? It's because it's disappointing. It's disappointing to have a viewpoint and to intend the best and to just try to have fun and then be absolutely treated like shit for it. And I imagine that there's a lot of that going around. So I guess the message here, whether you decide that these actions of this person, whether it be me or any of the other people, affect your willingness to consume media of any kind, the visual novel, my videos, whatever the fuck, that's entirely up to you, and you have the right to support who or what you want. As for me, I have no interest at all in this topic, or speaking about it ever again, or hearing about it ever again. All I did, and all I will do, is say my thoughts and what I feel about what was said and done. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. Because whether or not you like it or not, that's what the fuck I have the right to do. So do you. So that is my final fucking word on Far Beyond the World and the people behind it. And let me know what you think. Does any of this matter to you? Do you care about the actions of the dev, good, bad, or indifferent? What the fuck are your thoughts? Do you think I shouldn't have said anything at all? Do you think that I, at times, quoted private messages? Is that a big problem? I don't fucking know what you're gonna say. So let me know. As far as the series, yeah, that's going away. That's done. I remember where I was going. Yeah. It's not my job to hold my tongue just in case that this might not be just ego and a lack of perspective. I hope if there is any underlying issue behind the actions that were perpetrated, that they're resolved in a healthy and constructive way. That doesn't involve me. This is not my fucking job. And at this point, I don't fucking care. So, if you don't like what I said, if you don't like what I do, totally fine, totally fair, and I won't discredit you as a person because of it. I'm done with this. I'm done with this topic. I'm done with this style of thing. I don't like doing this. And like I said, unless some big, crazy, stupid shit happens as a result of this, or in just in general, this is the last I'm gonna speak about Far Beyond the World or anything to do with it. As I'm sure that's a relief to some. So, that's where I'm going to end this episode of All the Above as well. No. Yeah, I should. I thought of one last thing I could say, but nah, I don't want to fucking do it. I'm going to end this on a positive note. I'm just going to say I'm done, and I hope everyone involved does better going forward. Opinions be what they are. I gotta let it go. I've been recording for 2 fucking hours. This is enough. This is more than enough. Fuck. This is fucking ridiculous.